Hello. So, by the third time I was in jail, it was a piece of cake. Jail actually isn't that bad if you're the kind of person who can follow a few simple rules. Or if you're a hardened 3-time offender of traffic violations. I used my shoes as a pillow that night. It's okay, they were nice shoes. My other option was having my face on Orleans Parish prison floor, which I have no doubt had seen many germs, so it was fine. I was out and about in the city of New Orleans, and I was appropriately dressed for the occasion that evening. Out and about, to clarify, does mean I was drinking heavily. Yes, Eric, you know what I'm talking about. Right. So, A, I didn't mind using shoes as a pillow. B, as I mentioned, they were pretty nice shoes, so I wanted to make sure they were secured so that, you know, none of my jail cellmates would confiscate them from me in my drunkenness. And C, most importantly, I slept right through jail. Right? It's no different from church, I'm sorry. Right? The first time I was in jail actually kind of whisked by pretty fast too. It was really surreal in that taking it all in, first time kind of way. You know, so it's a lot like losing my virginity, which is the only time jail is like sex. If you're lucky, I guess. But yeah, the second time, that was the long haul. Okay? So they bring me into this little processing waiting area, and like half the population there is non-violent criminals like yourselves, and then the other half is like the staff and the corrections officers and people doing their civic duties and whatever. And it's kind of scary, but really, really boring, right? So it's like a doctor's visit. My first order of business was to find a payphone, which jail is the last place in the world where they still exist. Because I needed to expedite my departure as soon as possible, right? So I could call any and everyone I knew might be able to help me out in this predicament. I was on the phone, and there's this guy standing right next to me, okay, and this white guy, and he's crying. Right, so I want to reach out to him, you know, and tell him, like, dude, don't bring the tears in the cell. You don't have to drag your white skin in there, right? Rule number 1, there's no crying in jail. But I think better of it. They're not like the woe is me, someone feels sorry for me tears. They're more like the I just got in a fight and I'm so emotional that I can't control myself tears, right? So, you know, I think better of it, right? Because I don't need the unstable white guy endearing himself to me. Rule number 2, there's no friends in jail. So I leave it alone. Then they start shoveling us into the holding cell, which is like 80 square feet. But it's already topped off with 30 people who smell like they've been there a while, okay? It's dead silent when we're walking in. All I can hear is like the shuffle of my feet and the door slamming shut on my freedom. And then the packing sound of a fist against flesh, right? So I turn around, and the unstable white guy who I didn't make friends with is wobbling, right? And I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then all of a sudden this big black guy comes and then hits him with an overhand punch, presumably for the second time, in the face, and floors him. Okay, so I make a beeline to the closest corner I can, right? Because I don't want anybody to see me about to violate rule number 1, right? So I'm there, you know, after not too long, we find another box for this savage, and, you know, with them go my very, very rational fears However, the insurmountable boredom stays behind. Okay, so I'm like, all right, well, you know, maybe I can just go to sleep, and when I wake up, this will all be over. So I take a nap for like 3 hours, and then I wake up and I realize only 20 minutes have passed in real time. Time moves forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards in jail. I don't know. That it's, you know, worst case scenario. So now I'm just stuck looking at the clock for like the next 6 hours, watching it not move. My backside hurts because I'm sitting on this concrete slab. It's bitterly cold. I'm going crazy on the inside of my head. And then one of my jail colleagues decides this is the best case scenario time to tell the story of how he got here. Except that because none of us are responsive to him and he feels like we must not have heard him the first time or second time or 12th time, he's just going to cycle through the story over and over and over. So by the 28th iteration, or that's what it seemed in my delirium, right, I am marginally close to telling this dude to shut the hell up. And I remember rule number 3, don't curse out the crazy guy in jail. So, especially if you've adhered to rule number 2 and you don't have anybody to have your back. So, let it go. And finally, after a couple more hours, I was bailed out because, you know, unlike in jail, I do have friends in the real world. So, I got out. I smelled 40 different kinds of body odor and sweat. I needed to shave. I lost thousands of brain cells. It was horrible, but I made it out unscathed, and I'm here tonight to share with you a few simple rules, right? So if I'm ever sharing Orleans Parish Prison with you guys, you'll already know, because we won't be friends if I see you.